Yeah, I got to say something about these ads I've been seeing. The first one is the DeSantos ad with the mom of the dead kid who was killed by an illegal alien. I looked up some statistics. This happened, by the way, in 2007. So whatever, 15 years ago. And there was another incident with a kid who was hit by another drunk driver. These are basically drunk drivers. They just happened to be, one of them happened to be an illegal alien who had been coming back, didn't have a license, and he had been here twice and been kicked out. Third time after he killed that kid, he only did 2 years in prison. He probably should have done more than that. And then he was kicked out. But let's get. Do you really want to talk about drunk drivers since 2007? Hundreds of thousands of people are dead. Just in the state of Florida. And what is this supposed to forget about the 80,000 people that were killed from COVID because of DeSantos' incompetence? Absolute, complete incompetence. You know, not to mention the fact that using this sort of strategy in a political ad is just absolutely disgusting. To use this sort of tragedy. I mean, I don't like it. Even I see even on Facebook and stuff, and I see people, they're sick or somebody in their family has died of some tragic thing, and they air it on out in public. I mean, to me, that's just unseemly. I personally would not do that. Lay my burden on other people. I don't get any of that kind of, but that's just me. Hey, if the dead kid makes you, floats your boat, whatever. The Republicans love all that kind of crap. Dead people, huh? They're threatening to kill me, so whatever. So, well, DeSantis is just a piece of crap. So we're just gonna let that one go. But who I really want to talk about is this Corey um, Simon, I think is his name. Yeah, the guy who's just sending all these just ridiculous, millions and millions of these things. You know, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. You know, really? It's all the same pictures. It's all cut up differently. And so anyway, I've already kind of made a video about that. I haven't really aired yet, but and I'm gonna wait on this. I'm gonna tighten this all up before I put it on because right now we have the hurricanes hitting us. Today's the Wednesday the 28th. I'm also working on a song I'm doing. So I don't know when I'll pop this out. Hopefully before this weekend. But so I go down the rabbit hole, looking at this Corey guy because he just seems like he's so nice and he's like mom and apple pie and all this, but and the only real flaw I can kind of find with this guy, and because they have really kept this under wraps, him popping out like this is just isn't much at all other than he tries to pretend that he's from here, but And in a way, he is. He moved here with his mom, um, and I guess his little brother. I'm not sure what that's all about, but or that's maybe his son. I don't know. It's all ambiguous. But they moved up from Pompano Beach or someplace like that back when he got a gig playing football at FSU. So, I guess they do that because Lorraine Owsley's family has been here for, you know, hundreds of years actually, since the first colonists came. And I count myself in on that one. But well, anyway, and then he's touted as he's got a Super Bowl ring. Now, he never says he he didn't even play in a Super Bowl game. I think he got close when he was with the Philadelphia Eagles, which he was with them for like 1 or 2 years. And he got traded, blah blah blah. His bio looks good, but boy, he went from team to team to team. And his career only lasted a few years. Then he got injured, I guess. And then his last year was who the heck was that? He was playing with somebody who used to be somewhere else, and I lose track because these teams move around so much. So he was injured. He never played in one game that whole year. He was on the bench, and that was pretty much the end of his career. But that team made it to the Super Bowl and won. So he got a Super Bowl ring. He never even went to the Super Bowl game. I don't know why that is. Because he was like, oh, I can't play, so I'm not going to go. I mean, I don't know. I would go support my team, especially if they paid me all that money. He walked out of his football career being having a couple of $1 million. So I would be grateful. Anyway, so it gets deeper than that because I start going down into this. Well, why him? Why is So I don't know if they thought that the logic of Herschel Walker was a good idea, but I think they noticed that even though Herschel Walker's like about as dumb as a pile of rocks, that he's actually being competitive against Warnock, who's just a brilliant man. So they get another football guy star. Well, DeSantis is a baseball guy. He played on the farm team, or I don't know if he ever made it. He might have made it onto the Dodgers for a year or two. I don't know. I know he played in the farm league for the Dodgers, so I would have put him probably down in Vero Beach for a while, but whatever. So the Republican plan to take over get a supermajority in the Senate of the state of Florida and get rid of Al Lawson, who's our state representative to the House of Representatives from this area, who's been doing it for years. The way to do that was to redo our voting district, which they did. They gerrymandered this. I mean, it's incredible. I looked at it. It's just like a thin line going from see, it encapsulates Tallahassee, and I don't know if it goes all the way over to it cuts off when it gets over to Gadsden, or not even Gadsden County, could be Gadsden County, I'm not sure. Quincy, wherever Quincy's is. That county over there is huge black population, so they cut it off and isolate the black population of Tallahassee, and then it's this thin line going through the main redneck territories of northern Florida, and then goes into the white neighborhoods of Jacksonville. I don't know, but I know that it puts Al Lawson into trouble getting reelected, and Lorraine Owsley. So it was a twofer to do this. Now, the Supreme Court of Florida, which is a conservative court, told DeSantis, no, and this is Ron DeSantis who gerrymandered this district like this personally. Even the conservative Florida Supreme Court said, no, man, this is too much. You've just gerrymandered this. No, we can't let you do this. And Ron DeSantis went, screw you, Supreme Court of Florida. Yeah, the law of Florida doesn't count. I'm the law. Ron DeSantis is the law. So that's what comes out of this for me digging into this shit is just like, my God, are you kidding? And this Simon character, he had zero experience other than football. He never did anything. All this, he started the Corey. I tried to look up that Corey, what's its name, Foundation for Children. That's a kind of almost non-existent. And then Volunteers Florida, he became the head of that. Before that, he did nothing. He was never involved in any of that. Ron DeSantis appointed him to that in 2020, always with the concept in mind of taking Lorraine Owsley out of her position of power here in, Leon County, in the Tallahassee area, and turning Tallahassee red. That's what he's been trying to do the whole time, because he can't stand the fact that in this sea of red, here's this tremendous island of blue. I mean, Tallahassee votes blue. It just does. 80%. Once you get out of here, once you get out of the city limits and you go down to like Wacola County, pretty much full of Trump loving everywhere you go around it. The next island of blue would be Gainesville and the University of Florida there, and then probably Jacksonville. And then there's sections down there in Orlando or whatever. But pretty much the hinterland of Florida is what you see. Gator people with Confederate flags and cooking meth, and that's pretty much it. So many crazed, drunken, redneck, pill popping, methadone eating rednecks. And I don't even want to use the word redneck anymore. I looked that up, found out that the actual word redneck came from the coal miners in Kentucky back in the 1920s, striking for better pay, and their nickname was rednecks. So I don't even want to. Those great men and women that fought for their jobs and their job security, fought against those big companies. They're heroes to me. I love that. So I'm going to try my best to stop using the word redneck, because the actual true connotation is a pretty good thing. Anyway, I guess that's enough of that crap. This guy, milk, it's hurting us, everything. Jesus Christ. What a phony baloney he is. And I am sure, I can't imagine that, the black folks around these parts are falling for that kind of bullshit. But, boy, the white rednecks are definitely, we gotta black dude on our side. See, we're great. We're making America great. We're making the black people great. How naive, really. Alright, well, that's all I gotta say about that shit. I have a bunch of other stuff I've done on Corey. I'm gonna probably take this and that and make something out of it. I don't know. Anyway, adios and buenos dias.